Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? It's me, Angela, back with a little video to keep you busy for the weekend. Oh, deep breath, I ran up the stairs. Right, so this is what I've made. Really not a difficult project and really a nice one. If you're not feeling inspired or creative, then this is one for you. Okay, so what have I done? I've used some fabric today and this beautiful anglaise ribbon that I've woven in between this one. We've got a little tag there, used one of my little petals on the eyelet, and I've used some of my altered book pages as a base for this tag. Now I haven't sewn this tag, which I normally do. We've got a smaller tag behind, and we've got this little goodie as well, which I'm going to show you. And you can see there's the altered page, and this is a nice pocket here as well. So that's the front of it. So we've just used one of my little 2-inch discs, add a little scrap of ribbon there, and lift that up. This is not my idea. This is an idea I think I got from Gina from the Fly Studio years ago. So it's definitely not one of mine. So you open that up like that. You've got a little piece of ephemera in there, so it acts like a little pocket. You close that up, close that down. How cute is that? And I've just decided, instead of tucking that in there, I decided not to stick this all the way down. So I'm letting it slide down so that it just tucks in there like that. And then you get to see the whole image. So that's going to go behind a nice big tag. And then if you turn it over, I've got another pocket there with a little flower and some faux washi strip that I've made. And then I've got my little postcard that goes into the back there. So the way I'm going to use this in my journal is I'm going to clip it with an altered paper clip or something like that, which I'll probably tuck under there really into one of my pages in the signature. So I'm going to make one for each. So this is the one I've made today, and we'll just put that to the side, and let's put it up here and it's out the way. And we're going to make another one together, so I hope you're excited. So I've got all sorts of bits and pieces here on my little tray. Some ribbon for the top, some fabric, which we're going to make a pocket with, and really this is easy, no sewing required. An altered book page, which I've made and backed onto a tag. I'll get to that. Some ephemera bits. I've just added a tag to this one, which is one of the quotes. I have used one of my circle discs. They are 2 inches usually. It depends whether you print that borderless or with a border, so just check that. And then I treated myself and got a new paper punch. Now I do have actual die cuts, but I know a lot of people don't have a die cut machine, and because I use a lot of these 2-inch circles and I have a 2-inch punch, I wanted one slightly bigger. So I managed to find, I didn't want 2.5 inches, I wanted 2 1/4, and I found it. So that is perfect for when you want to make a pretty little edge really quickly. So this is an EK punch. This is from Amazon, 2 1/4 inches it says, yeah, and that is perfect for my little circles. So I quite like that. I think it just finishes it off. You don't have to get out your die cut machine or any bits and pieces. There you go. So if you're looking to treat yourself in the future, there we go. All right, so that's what I've done there. So I'm going to put this all to the side. I'm going to grab my fabric, and that's the ribbon for the front. We'll do a little weaving thing in a minute. Let's put that at the top. So let me talk you through this and give you a couple of measurements. Right, so the width of this is 4 inches or 10 centimeters. All right, and the length of this is 7 inches, and I think, oh, I don't have my ruler here. I'll work that one out. So that's what it is, 7 inches. Yeah, I'll put that in the piece below for you to see. So this is from the Anne of Green Gables. I've got lots of these altered book pages. I love them, and I like doing different things with them. So all I've done is I have put that onto the page so that it managed to go in the middle there. And I've put some card on the back. This is old packaging board, but any board will do because you're going to cover it anyway. So even cereal box will work, all right? And then I've just cut off the corners. So that's what I've done there. Simple as that. I've just stuck this on with glue stick. All right. Now today I'm going to stitch this one, but as I showed you, you do not have to, because when I wanted to stitch it, I realized I had to do that before I put the back piece on, and I hadn't done it, so I don't want to mess it up. And it's always nice to have an example where you can show people you don't have to sew, because not everyone has a sewing machine or knows how to sew. But if you do, it's worth trying it. Right, so I've taken this fabric piece. Both of these come from my Ann bundles, from the fabric bundles, part of the Ultimate bundle, or I do sell them as separate fabric bundles. And this piece here measures 4 3/4 inches in width and 4 inches in length. All right, I have just folded 1/2 inch over there at the bottom. And if I turn, and I've glued it, very little glue, fabric glue, so that it doesn't show through. All right, so that's all I've done there, no stitching, as I said. And I'm going to just put this here. Then what you want to do is you want it to be a pocket on the front. So you want to turn that over, and you want to just decide how deep you want the pocket. Now this one I did was 3 inches deep. So if I move that there, gotta love these boards. You really want to go to that position there, all right? And then you're going to fold what remains over, which is like 1/2 inch, okay? Like that, it's just short really. And then what I did was, where's my glue? I just used my 3-in-1 or fabric tack, whatever you have. And it doesn't matter that you use more glue here, because you're not going to see this. So just put your fabric glue on like that. Okay. And then we are just going to take our fingers and get that folded over. Do the sides first, I think, and then this side. Right, you've got that there. Then what I did was I did trim this off because I don't want the bulk. All right, so it's just not quite to the point. Here's the point. I'm going just slightly below that, like 1/8 of an inch. All right, a bit like when you do your covers. Right, and then just lift that over. And I've only cut the corners just to eliminate the bulk, because we are going to put paper over here ultimately. Okay, well, I might not need these clips now, but that's really nice and neat. Good. Now I could have actually moved this house further up, but I wanted that over there. So you could do that and move the house higher if you want, but we are going to put things in here, so that's fine. All right, now what you want to do is you want to put on your ribbon. Now I've got this slotted anglaise trim here. Just want to cut this thread off that's bugging me. I've made it slightly longer than this pocket. Okay, you can I put all 3 colors in here, the blue, the lilac, and the sage green, so that you can do different things with this, because I'm going to use this for tuck spots as well. So I just took a hairpin, slid it over the front there like that. I mean, you could use a safety pin, but I don't have one right near me. And then it's just a case of going up and down in here like that. Safety pin would probably be easier, but you know, I don't want to move. I'm nice and comfy here. Right, so we're just going to go like that and slide that through. Yeah, look there. Okay. Pull that out and then just straighten it up as you do. So there we go, we've got that like that. Now we want to stick this down before we do anything further. All right, so trim this ribbon off that extends here. You don't want it going beyond this bit. And then get your fabric glue again and just gauging where I want it. Now I want it sort of central, so I'm going to just turn that around, and I've gauged it with my eye. You don't want to put too much glue on, so I'm just trying to smooth that out a bit. Alright, now just be mindful that that can go through there, so you want to make sure that you're not overdoing it. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is just take a piece of scrap card. Just got a bit of packaging here, and I just want to put that underneath just to lift it a bit while it's drying. Okay, and then I'm going to get that on there, over, and get some more on here. So I don't want to really, well, it doesn't matter how far you go in here, except that it makes it a bit chunky. So, you know, cut off anything that you feel is just too much. So you want to just get that there, move your clip there, and I think this one's a bit long, so I'm just going to shorten it a bit and get that around there. So, oh gosh, that was my clip just snapped. I got a fright. There we go. So we've got those sticking down nicely. Right, okay, so that's coming along beautifully, and I can go and faff with this afterwards, but yeah. All right, so effectively I've just messed it up. Of course I have. No, I was supposed to leave a little gap here just to tuck in, so there I've got a little gap just for the front, which is what I wanted. So if you leave it like that, you'll have the gap there just to tuck the point in. So that's that. I'm going to leave that like that for the minute. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just stitch around here, because it's at this point that you want to stitch all around if you are going to stitch at all. All right, so I will do that quickly and I'll be right back. All right, so you can see I've just stitched around there, but as I say, it's not a necessity. I didn't do any stitching on that one at all. All right, so you can take that out. We've got our little spot there just to tuck in the corner, the point, so it's looking great so far, and everything we stitched is all over on the back, which is great. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we are going to cover the back. All right, so I've got this from my shabby lacy backgrounds. I just love the colors of this. We're going more with an aqua and a lilac on this one. Let's see, we want to get it to the edge here and the bottom. So I'm going to get the bottom here, over here on the corner. So I'm going to stick it like that. All right. Okay, so I think the first thing to do would be just to put the glue on here. That's it. Let's get the glue on. I'm going to go with this one and get it as close to the corner as I can. All right, so we want to go down at the bottom here. So let's get that right into the corner, right on the edge and there, so that we only have two sides to really cut. All right, and move that down just a little bit. There we go. And then you can either draw a pencil line around it or just use your scissors, but I'm going to use my crafting knife. Slowly, mind your fingers. Okay, there we go. So now we've got that on the back, and we'll just hang on to that. Okay, so I'm going to just use my distress ink and get that all over the bottom. Now I'm going to put a pocket on the bottom here, so I'm not particularly worried about the tops, rather the edges. like that, so it hides any sewing and whatever's gone on underneath here. There we go, and I've done that side already. Okay, so there we go, we've got that there so far. That's looking great. Now I've got a piece here. I used a whole sheet of this because I'm making a little envelope with the rest of this piece of paper, which I've cut out already. I'll talk you through that, but this is left over from that sheet, and I just want to work out a little pocket for myself here. So the way to do that is just to lift this up like that. Okay, I'm just lining up these two edges. I've got a 1/2 inch there, a 1/2 inch at the bottom, and I'm going to just mark about a 1/2 inch here. Doesn't have to be precise. And then cut that off. So, right, and then again, just going to get that lined up with the fabric. So I'm just using those edges there, and then take your bone folder, move it over a bit, run your bone folder along the edge that lines up with this paper like that. Okay, now you can't see it very clearly, but there are score lines there, but I'm going to use those to fold, but I'm also going to go to the corner of that score line, and I'm just making a pocket like that. Yeah, and then you want to just fold that over. There we go. Right, so just take those little bits off into the bin. Now with here, normally I would just cut those, just so that when you fold it back, it's not going to peek out the top there. All right, so that is now, should fit nicely right to the edges here, and you can check that before you fold it. This one has gone a little bit over, so all I'm going to do is move that a little bit in. That should be better, so just check. Look at that, perfect. Right, so we can go like this. You can make a notch in here if you want, but I'm not going to. There we go, so we've got that done. Then I've taken a strip of paper from the previous project we did. I'm going to just put that in the middle here. What did I do with my little fussy cut? It's gone. What did I put on this one? Oh yeah, I did have one. I did have one for sure. So this is like 3/4 of an inch, I think. Yes, 3/4 of an inch wide. And I'm going to just stick that there. So we'll do that. And you can either cut it off at the edge or wrap it round. Probably going to cut it off just to eliminate even more bulk. So let's go with this here, like that. I do like wrapping them round, but I've done a lot of that now, so I'm just going to cut it off. Let's turn it this way, and then it's easier. Okay. Right, so we've got that done. We can stick this on, and then I'll find a fussy cut to go on here. You guys are well and looking forward to a nice weekend. I've had a strange kind of a week, really. All sorts going on. I'll keep you informed. Nothing to worry about. But a good week. A good week. There we go. So I love how that's come together there. Oh, I'll need that in a minute, won't I? So yeah, pretty looks pretty slim as far as tags go. Slightly thicker than normal, but you know, that's to be expected when you're adding all these things. But I'm happy with that. We are going to end up using that at the back and these in the as well. So that's there, and then that's the little cap that I'm going to put on to the little envelope-y thing. So all I need now is, for this side, is a little fussy cut. So let's see what we're going to put in there. And I obviously thought I'd taken one out, but I obviously haven't. So let's find one. Why not? There we go. So we've got that done. So all I need to do here quickly is take a mini flower. So you can have a cream one, or I'm gonna be using this, so I'm gonna go with that. So is to find the center spot here. So that is here. And then I'm going to use my little gizmo, and you need to do the same with this one. Oh no, we're not using that color, we're going with the blue, aren't we? What did I do with it? Oh yeah. Need to just press it. How pretty is that? All right, so that's what we've got so far, and then we're going to add our ribbons. So the answer to this is put the two together and fold them. That's the answer. Right, now I'll just pull that out a bit. Now the way I do this is I tie the alternate colors together. All right, so I do find this position easiest. I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to do the other two. All right. So we've got all of that going on there. That looks pretty. And now we want to just put that aside, and we're going to make this bit now. All right, so what I did was I took a piece of paper. It was 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Is that right? I used this board. As you can see here, look how discolored it's gone from being on my windowsill. It was cream, now it's that color. It's just age. I've had it for years. So I did use 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, that's the paper size. And the envelope is going to be 4 by 6 inches. All right, 10 by 15. So in centimeters, and the score line is 3 3/8. So you take your piece of paper, it's the same size, and you then go and score it at the first score, which is 3 3/8 over there, if you know how these work. All right, and then you move it around as you do. When you're finished, I haven't done this bit, I see, you go and you put the end corners in the end here, and they just round them off. It's like a corner rounder. Oh, I've got such a pain in my thumb. The joint, not the actual thumb. There we go, like that, and that rounds off the corners. Okay, and then you just fold those up. So we've got one at the bottom, the top flap, and the small flaps. So these are the small flaps, and like that, and then we've got this one as well. So you have an envelope. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that flap at the top there, yeah, and I'm going to move the bottom one in. I'm going to put glue up there for this one. There we go. And then we want glue here for this one. Hold the flap down. I made the mistake before. Like that. There we go. So that's nice and flat. Okay. And now what I want to do is I wanted to fold in the bit here. Okay, so we are going to go 1 3/8 here. Let's do 1 1/2. That's what I'm going to go with, 1 1/2. So let's put that here on the half like that, and I'm going, there's the half, and then I want to go 1 as well. Okay, and then I'm going to just use my bone folder and make a nice firm mark there. Right, score line, that's the word I'm thinking. Right, let's go on to here. And we want to do the same, 1.5. So 1.5. 1.5 is 4 centimeters, guys. Okay, it doesn't matter what it is as long as it's the same on both sides. So between 1.5 and 1 and 3 3/8. So it's up to you. But whatever you do, do the same on both sides. Right, now you'll see the score line went over there and over there. What we want to do is we want to cut below the fold line there of the flap. So just below that with your scissors. And then you want to go down the score line like that. Okay. Let's get tilting it so I can see. And then there we go. So you just cut those bits out. That's all. Then go and take, you should really take a ruler, but I don't know, I think I've left it in the other room, my nice metal ruler. Go to that score line, which should line up there now, and just press that over nicely. And the same here. All right. So now when you have that, these should all touch and meet up there, and you should be able to push that down nicely. And you've got like a little concertinaed envelope here. Okay. So you can go and ink all of that. I'm not going to do too much inking now because I think you know how I ink, or whether you don't like inking, that's also an option. Okay, so we've got that there. That's now a little pocket, so you can go and take your piece of ephemera, which for me is this little one. Isn't that cute? And slide that in there, close it up, take off the glue. And then this is where my little hat piece is going to go over there. Now with the other one, I had a little bit of ribbon, but I think I'm going to go with this just to match up with the top. So I'm going to fold it in half like that. So it's 1 inch, now it's 1/2 inch. And I'm going to just get this glue out, put a dab of it there, a dab of it there, and a dab of it there. Right, so I can just join those two up. Press that down again, and then just find where you want to place that, like that. All right, now I did have clips holding that down for a little bit, but I can do that afterwards. Right, the moment of truth. So this is the one I made before. That's going to go in there, and that just slides in over there like that. All right, so there's that one. And then this one we've just done, and that's so pretty. We're going to slide that in there, lift that one up a bit, and then loosen if your glue is stuck down. Now maybe I took that out a bit soon, but it's okay, nothing's ruined. We want to get that in there, and that little point will just tuck into that bit over there like that. All right, and then this bit here, if I wasn't a human girl, I think I'd like to be a bee and live among the flowers. Gosh, Anne, you and me both. And that's going to tuck in at the back there. Yeah, let's just pull our ribbons. What am I doing now? We want to pull that one and pull that one, right. And then at the back, we're going to use this as our little postcard, and we're going to slide that in there. And there we have it. How's that? Nice and easy project for you for the weekend. I hope that you've enjoyed that. It was fun to make, and I think you could make loads of these with pieces of paper for a mass make. I think that would make a great mass make. Right, everyone, go and have a wonderful weekend and have fun putting these together. Just remember, you don't have to sew, so you know that's just an option. You could just sew the base and glue everything else, or not sew anything, because it looks just as good to me. And yeah, give this a go. We will make some altered paper clips and put those in with a couple of bits as well, so that'll be another little project. But yeah, go and enjoy a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday with another little project for our journals. We're coming to an end with it. I'm working on another kit. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.